This is gonna be my first off-season ever. Does that mean that I've never bulked before? No, surely it doesn't. The word off-season implies that you were on season before. So to call it an off-season, you would have to compete in a bodybuilding show prior. So most people aren't in their off-season, but they are just bulking. That just up front as a little explanation. So now coming to the topic of the video, how to nail your off-season / bulk. Yeah. So I just finished my 34 week long bodybuilding prep, aka starvation diet, and now it is time to fully focus on building muscle mass, actually putting some solid contractile tissue onto this frame, especially the upper body in my case. And how do we optimize this whole process? So what do we have to think about to kind of optimize everything and not just turn into a fat blob and a mess? Starting with the nutrition. It's actually quite simple. We just want to be in a slight caloric surplus. We don't need an excessive amount of calories. We don't need 1000 calories plus every day. We need something like 200 to 500 calories of a daily caloric surplus. That is completely sufficient. We don't need anything beyond that. And to be more specific, we want a rate of gain of about 0.1 to 0.4% of all body weight per week. So that's actually not that much. That could mean 0.4% to 1.6% of your body weight gained in 1 month. And why do we choose such a slow rate of gain? Very, very simple. We don't want to gain too much excessive body fat. Surely gaining body fat is just part of it, but we don't want to completely throw out the window and get fat as fuck. That will mean that we have to cut again, and that is garbage. You should eat enough protein. What does that mean? In most cases, something like 2 to 2.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight are definitely more than enough. Shooting way beyond that will most certainly not result in any more gains. And as usual, don't completely overshoot the fats, just add them if you struggle eating more food, and the majority of the calories will come from carbohydrates. So for the training portion of this whole kind of construct, there are 3 major points that we have to think about: volume, exercise selection, and wrong finger, intensity, whilst having proper technique. So we want to utilize adequate training volume, which can surely differentiate from human being to human being, something in the range of 8 to probably maximum of 20 sets per muscle group per week should be fully sufficient depending on the intensity you are working with. If you're somebody that likes to train all out all the time, you should aim for the lower range of the set scheme. And if you are somebody that likes to train a little lighter with higher volumes, just train a little lighter with higher volumes. And as I said, good exercise selection. We don't want exercises that just feel like shit, that accumulate a shit ton of fatigue, and you are not getting that much out of it. We want exercises that make you feel the muscle you are actually working, make you feel a shit ton of tension, get good pumps, not accumulate way too much fatigue, and where you can actually push till failure safely. And as I said, intensity, the most important thing in my opinion. Intensity is the baseline of setting a proper stimulus, therefore yeah. But yeah, we want to train with sufficient intensity, so training hard, going all out once in a while, or like me, every single set. Wouldn't recommend that. And for the last point, recovery. Literally sleep, not too much stress, you time, so having some off time for yourself, not being on the go all the time, and that is literally it. You just have to sleep enough, 8 to 10 hours depending on what you need, get some rest in here and there, don't completely kill yourself, try to be active all the time, be productive all the time. We cannot do that, and that will have a negative impact on your ability to recover from training sessions and actually grow muscle mass. Oh, completely forgot one thing. Don't overdo it with the cardio. It is recommended to do low intensity cardio, something like walking or riding your bike. Something like 10,000 steps a day is very, very good for your heart, very, very good for your health. But exceeding that, for example, doing like 15k steps every day or going even beyond that, can at some point have a negative impact on your recovery. Same goes for going for a run multiple times a week with quite high intensity. That will accumulate fatigue and will have a negative impact on your training. And that is basically it. There's not much more to that. That is what I'm gonna implement into my training, into my life, into my everything, and that is gonna result in some decent gains. Yeah, Surely. So if you want to properly structurize your build, your off-season, just keep these things in mind. They are not a direct guide on how to do everything, but they are the baseline, they are the foundation on which you can build upon to make some mad gains. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this was entertaining and you've learned something. If that is the case, maybe consider following and leaving a like. Bye!